we've seen these two guys really turn some heads over the past couple of weeks, and that's Jason Brownlee and Elijah Badger. These guys have had wow moments in training camp and both backed it up in preseason week 1 with some nice plays. Obviously, Brownlee had the touchdown. Badger had a nice screen pass that he took with 20-something yards. But we know the Chiefs wide receiver room is very crowded, and the bottom of the depth chart is always a battle between upside and special teams value. You got veterans fighting for spots like Sky Moore, young draft picks they've invested in, and then these camp standouts trying to force their way in. So given all that, we're just talking about Jason Brownlee and Elijah Badger. I've heard a lot of chief content creators on Twitter make the comments like Jason Brownlee would be great if he was a return man, but he's not a return man, so he doesn't really add much value in the special teams department. Although there's multiple ways you can add value in the special teams department, like Justin Ross did, right? Because he wasn't a return man. But who do you think, in your opinion, who's got a better shot to make the 53 between Brownlee and Elijah Badger? And what do these guys bring? It's very, very different type of guys.
Yeah, I tell you what, who has the better chance? Well, I say this. I mean, Jason Brownlee was making plays. He's been, kind of rotating with the ones. We've seen him catch a touchdown. I think he's one of those that, he has a little bit of experience too, playing up there with the Jets. I think he may have the nod, okay? And so the thing is, you got to always try to argue the point is, well, what does the dude, can he do on special teams, right? You could put him on kickoff. You could put him as the gunner on punt if you wanted to. So there's a few things he can do on special teams. Now, does that show that he'll go down and make a tackle? That's something you got to find out. So what do? You throw him out there, preseason to see if he'll make it happen, right? So you sink or swim. That's how it works, right? That's the way it works. But I think I like Elijah Badger too. He's a heck of a player. But I think with Jason Brownlee, the things that he's just done, what I've seen, even in camp, like I was watching him kind of make plays. I'm like, man, who's 8'9", right? Because he's wearing my number. That is, the old 8'9". I'm checking it out. And that joke would look big out there in pads, man. At first I thought he was a tight end. I was like, man, that's Brownlee. So, but yeah, man, I like his skill set. I like his skill set. He looks like he's hungry, which all the guys are hungry. Elijah is too. But I think, Marcus, just for what I've seen so far, I think Brownlee might have a nod.
When it comes to because I know we talked about receiver types before, and you and I have been, we wanted Josh Gordon to work out. We wanted Justin Ross to work out. And just overall, the tall guys, that hasn't really worked out for us. And for whatever reason, we have a type. And Brownlee, while he did get that one rep, the touchdown, and he was with Mahomes in that one play that Mahomes threw on Saturday, it just seems like those type of guys just don't really work in Kansas City for whatever reason that is. It's not a them problem. It seems like it's more of our system, the way it works. It seems like Badger kind of fits our mold more so than Brownlee does, as far as someone that, like, if you're looking, next year, right? Because, Hollywood Brown's a 1-year deal. So it's like, okay, we're looking for guys beyond that. It feels like Badger would be that guy beyond this year. And maybe, Brownlee's been around the NFL for a little bit, for a couple of years. Whereas maybe you can fit him on a practice squad, whereas maybe Badger may not make it to the practice squad, because he flashes some talent. And I don't know, what do you feel? How do you feel about the fit aspect of it between the two of them?
I mean, listen, I think each one is a gamble. Okay. If you put a guy on a practice squad, you can't be worried if you're going to get picked up or not. I think if anything, if you like him enough, you like him a lot, then you're gonna put him on a 53-man roster. That's how you protect him. If he goes to the practice squad, obviously teams have a chance to get him, right? And so this is something that you don't necessarily have to deal with or say, hey, I want to go somewhere. Maybe you just want to stay here, but it's opportunity. If Chiefs are not using it, that's an opportunity to go somewhere. It's just the NFL, man. And so this is the business. The business is guys still want to play. They want to obviously play for a championship organization like the Kansas City Chiefs. But everybody's got to be able to make their own way. And so these guys understand that. And so as much as they want to play here with Patrick Mahomes and those guys, and I'm sure that's what they want to be able to do. But if a team calls you, you have the opportunity to go to a 53-man roster, somebody picks you up, why wouldn't you do that? Okay. Somebody said LRZ, he was a name that came out. I remember LRZ. LRZ had a chance, opportunity to stay here with the Chiefs, right? But he wanted to go to Jacksonville because Jacksonville was playing over there in England, okay? He was going across the pond to go play over there. He knew he was going to be able to, I guess, spend some time over there. That's fine. That's all right. So everybody's got to make their own choice as far as like what they want to be able to do. But the only way that the team can really truly protect the guys if you put them on a 53-man roster. So the question is, when you start getting into that, Marcus, and this is what I said. All right, we went into the cuts. I seen somebody sit there was talking about who was that? Somebody just brought that up. Yeah, Chiefs fitted. I dropped my 53-man 4-point the other day and had the wide receiver making it with Rice suspended. That's Brown, Worthy, Juju, Royals, Thornton, and lastly Brownlee. Am I crazy keeping Nico off? Yeah, I think Nico makes it. I think Nico shows, talking about the type of, we talked about a type. Nico fits the bill of our type. Not only that, but also too, he can return punts and kickoffs. It's another value that adds on to it. And Nico's been here for a couple of years. So he's familiar with what the things that we do, what we want out of it. He fits well into the whole scheme of things and wide receivers. I just, when we talk about guys at this moment, Marcus, I don't know. I think it's just premature to say who's going to make it, who's not going to make it at this moment, really.
So I guess for me, and I'm with you there as far as who's going to make it, who's not going to make it. That's why I'm looking at the guys like at the bottom, right? Like the Badger and Brownlee, because you can look at certain, right? So like Hollywood going to make it, Rice going to make it, Worthy going to make it, Royals going to make it, Juju going to make it, and then Nico. I think Nico's you kind of just talked about. I think he is a lock right now because of what he's doing on special teams, and they've kind of pretty much already given him that role, right? But I would say of all those guys, he's probably the one that you could say, but there's at least 5 locks right now, the first 5 I mentioned. Now it just depends how many they're going to keep. Is it going to be 7 or is it going to be 6?
I think they keep 7. I think they keep 7 wide receivers. That's what I believe. And man, I always forget my list. I always forget it. But I do believe on my list, they had 7 guys. Okay. And what I do is I'll actually put my list out after this game. How about that? Okay. That way, next week, we'll see what JD's been thinking, kind of what some of the grumblings are from camp. But Will, I'm gonna put my list out. You guarantee that too. So
with that, right?
I'm just saying for what these guys can do, 7 makes sense to me. And then of course, you're talking about running backs. How many running backs are you going to keep? Same thing. How many tight ends are you going to keep? You're going to keep 4 tight ends, and some on practice squad. You could definitely do that. So same thing with offensive linemen. How many offensive linemen you going to carry? I think offensive line, you could kind of skirt some of those guys right now. So how about I give you my offensive line list? We do that, right? Josh Simmons, Kingsley, Creed, Trey Smith, Jawan Taylor, okay, Jalen Moore. I have also Wanye Morris. I have Mike Caliendo. I have Norzad, and I have Hanson. No. No, it's a different list. Thank you, babe. Okay. Margaret's going to bring my list down. She says, "Is this your list?" I'm like, nah.
Susan with the almost assist. The almost assist.
Almost assist. I appreciate it. She brought me a different list down here. That's
So that's 10 dudes. You have 10 then?
10. I think 10. I think I had 9 that you could pull back on 9. So
And Cheese Fitted's asking, even with Norzad's broken foot.
Oh, that Joe got a broken foot. When did he have a broken foot? When did that happen? When did it happen? I didn't know anything about it.
I didn't see anything about Norzad having a broken foot.
No. Said Norzad. Okay, optimist. Norzad was a liability last game. That's why it's CPG though. I don't know. So my thing is, I think Norzad he's the other center. Obviously, he's going to have to play if he's not hurt to back up Creed. If not, you're going to have a whole different guy in there snapping balls. And so I think I would rely on Norzad before anybody else. But
yeah.
I think Marcus, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys on the offensive line. If you had 10 CJ Hansen, that was it. 10 at the most. I forgot how many we carried last year. I looked it up. But I did the numbers. So let me see. Okay. So that's 10. Tiny ends, 20.
Yeah, I don't think Norzad's injured. I think Cheese Fitted. You might be talking about Driscoll. Driscoll's hurt right now, but I mean,
yeah, Ethan Driscoll's hurt. Yeah, his foot. Yeah, but not Norzad. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's what it. Decisions. And Andre, look, it's gonna get it's gonna get down to the nitty gritty. There's gonna be some guys that you're gonna hate to see be let go. You're gonna hate to see it, but it'll be necessary. And so you put guys like that on the practice squad, and then hopefully guys that are staying in the system, you get to pluck them off of that one day. So the question is, are these guys making plays? Who's going to be making more plays? And it's also about consistency. We've seen that too. I think Nico came out, was it last year? And he made plays toward the end, in preseason and, put him on practice squad. And so he had to come off practice squad to come in and do what he did. So it's going to be tight. It's going to be really tight, man.
Well, I think with Rice's injury and or not injury, suspension, I think that is kind of a blessing in disguise because that allows us to carry one of those other guys that we're talking about, one of these fringe guys, right? So we said 6 with Nico as the 6th guy, right? So
that's what you said.
What's that?
6 with Nico. So somebody's talking about Juju might get cut. I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. They talked about him being the elder statesman in the wide receiver room being that leadership role. So there's no way you cut the leader. You cut the leader. There's some questions going around. Everyone's looking over the shoulder.
What's going on? Right. What we doing? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 7. So yeah, if you have Rice at the first of the season, he's going to be missing those first 4 games.
So do you have? So let's count 8 then with Rice, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be 8. So Hollywood, Rice, Xavier, Juju, Royals, Nico.
Go through them again.
So Hollywood, Rice, Worthy, Juju, Royals, Nico.
Go ahead.
So that's 6. So then the next 2 would be Thornton. And that's where it becomes Brownlee, Badger, Sky Moore at that point.
Yeah. Yep. So I think that's the list. That's what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chairman Emergency says I would be upset if Juju gets me too. I'll be like, what the heck? That would be a shock. That would be a shock. So
and he's at a killer camp too. Everyone's talked about how awesome he's looked during camp. Like I've read so many reports. People said it looks like it's throwback Juju. So maybe his hamstrings now healed up after being getting out of New England, a full year out of New England. His hamstrings all good. He's ready to rock. So I'm excited to see what Juju can do in this offense this year.
Yeah, Yeah, me too. Me too. So we just have to see. The fringe guys, man, it's going to be contingent on these next two games. Okay, you're going to get a good look at them, and also too the coach's evaluation on consistency in practice. See, because we could see, oh, this guy, caught a good ball in practice, and how did he look? Well, when you're going against, a different opponent, or you remember the plays, only the coach is going to know that. Is he retaining the information that he needs to be successful? How does he look going up blocking for other guys? Is he giving it his all? Does he understand how to finish? And I think what people don't realize is that we can see a catch, but it's just more to it than that. It really is. So that's why when we talk about Juju, it was without a doubt very valuable because of what he brought to the table. Nobody was going to be able to block like Juju and Sky. Sky did a great job of blocking too last year. That's why they was able to keep the guys on. There was a dude on Twitter was, talking about, these. I'm like, look, man, said I was on a high horse. I'm like, look, if I'm on a high horse, I'm going to stay up here then. If that's what I'm giving you a perspective of a player and as a coaches, then I'm going to stay up here then. Then I'm like, well, where's Andy and them at? If this is my opinion, okay, and I'm just taking for what Andy and those guys are saying about him and keeping him here. What are they doing? Are they on skyscrapers? Staying up on, what is it? So I'm like, y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about whoever. Y'all say that to Andy. All right, look, I say this again, Marcus. I don't know if y'all haven't seen. Say this. I'll tell you what y'all do. Okay? Y'all write y'all a nice letter. Okay? All right? Sign it. Look it up. Deliver it. Send it on with a pigeon carrier or float it in a bottle or get somebody to slide it up underneath his door and you send you all list to him and say who's going to make the team and not going to make the team. Okay? All right? That's what y'all do. Okay? So everybody's going to have their favorites. They're going to have their favorites and what people are going to think. Andy and those guys are going to make a decision on their own for what they want and how they feel, at least the temperature of the team is going. Okay, how does it look in the room? Who's the guy that fits? All those things go into the decision of it. So,
yeah, I think Andy has deserved level of trust from fans if he decides to keep a guy on his team because he thinks that's the best possible guy for our team. So I think fans should trust whatever that is. I know everyone's got their favorites, but at the end of the day, if Andy says it, then that's it.
That's law.
Yeah,
that's law. So.
Yeah, and that comment you were talking about, you being on a high horse, just giving your opinion on stuff, and the guy also put words in our mouth with his comments saying that, oh yeah, you guys say we can't criticize players. It's like, well, no. We say we can constructively talk about players, but there's a good way of talking about it, and there's a bad way of talking about it. I was like, just choose your words wisely. And then someone commented saying that you guys that you're right on that one.
Yeah, look, we could criticize players. I said, and it's warranted at times. It is. I'm not saying you can't be critical, guys. But then when you go into the disparaging words of saying, oh, he's a bum and he is this and he's not worth anything and all of that, that is when you become dismissive of just a guy's value, period. Okay? Because he's not doing what you want him to do. These guys have obtained the highest level that you possibly can for their profession. So we want to put some respect on it. And I'm saying so as a player. Okay. Like we can still be respectful of people, right? But look, I get it. Hold them accountable. We're not saying that. Not saying it. Shoot, I'll be the first one to say, yeah, this dude missed this block. Or he should have did better. He's got to do that. He's got to make that catch or he's got to make that tackle. There's no excuse on it whatsoever. We're not here for that, okay? We're not here for participation trophies. Like I said all the time, they don't keep people around because they like your hair. They don't like that. Or they just like your smile. Or you smell good. They don't keep you around for that. They keep you because you are valuable to the team in more ways than one. And so when people get into that, it's because they don't know a person. They don't know who these guys are. Not really. They don't. All you see is what, what TV shows you, what plays they make or what plays they didn't make. And then it's, let me load on them in, right? Hey, man, that gone, right? It's noise. And so I think what they say all the time is, you just keep the noise out. That's it. Period.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, we're not saying you cannot criticize players. You guys can do it respectfully. Is the choice of words there? Is the words you choose that makes all the difference.
Yeah, criticize whatever you want, how you want to criticize. I'm just saying that that's just an indication on what you say and how you say it is more of an indication of you, right?
100%.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.